Hello everyone, here is Mohammed. Welcome back to my channel. Today I want to speak about Xojo and printing. You will see how to list all your printers in a list box, how to set a specific printer as default one, and finally we will save the printer setup settings somewhere in your computer, for example in a text file, and use it with the next printer job. That means we will print automatically without showing the printer setup dialog. I hope you will enjoy the video. Let's write some code. For example, in my computer, if I want to see all the printer names, I need to type WMIC printer get name. I can type the same command within my Xojo application to get this output. So we need here a list box. I will need also button, get printer name. I will rename the list box to LB printer. What should happen if we press this button? We need to execute the command, so I need a new shell instance. I will rename it to my shell. Execute mode asynchronous because I want to read the data under the data available event. So now let's execute the command my shell execute WMIC printer get name. Now I will read the data r as string is equal to me read all. I will show you the output in a message box first. If I press the button, I get the same output. Now I will split this text at the end of the line and skip this first row and put the rest in this list box. Okay. I don't need this message box anymore. I will need an array, results array as string is equal to r split end of line for each printer name as string in results array. Next, now I want to skip the first row. If printer name trim is equal to name, then continue. If not, LB printer add row printer name. Save and run. Perfect, it looks good. So now I want to set a printer as default one. I will need a second shell instance and call this time new shell asynchronous 2. Save. I need a button. Set as default, and then I will show the default printer in this label. Okay, now what should happen if we press this button? First, I need to check if the user choose a printer from the list box. So if LB printer selected row count is equal to 0, then message box select a printer. If he does, I want to type this command: new shell execute WMIC printer. Now I need to tell him which one, where name is equal. The name of the printer should be between double quotes. That means I will write double quotes inside double quotes. So every double quotes will be written 2 times. So the first double quote, 1, 2, plus LB printer selected row value trim plus, now I will continue the string, and then I need now the other double quotes for the printer name, 1, 2. Okay, now I will call the method set default printer. It's all. So at the end I want to write, let's call it LBL, this label. Text is equal to the user selection. And yeah, to be sure that everything was fine, I want to read the data inside it. So message box will be me read all. Now let's test it. Get printer name, it looks good. If I will set this one as default, perfect. A second test, perfect. Okay, now I need to save the printer setup settings as text file. So save printer settings, and I will save it in a directory called my settings somewhere in my desktop, and I will read the content of this directory and put it in a list box. The list box will have the name LB folder printer. Okay, now what should happen if we press this button? I will need printer setup as new printer setup. I will need printer settings as string, and then I need to show the first time the page setup dialog to choose the settings which will be written in the text file. So ps page setup dialog. Okay, then, and if, what should happen here inside? The printer settings are equal to ps settings. Then the file as folder item is equal to a special folder desktop child. The directory is called my settings, and then inside it. The text file will have the name, for example, let's say of the selection, lb printer selected row value trim plus txt, for example, var output as text output stream is equal to text output stream, create that file. Perfect. So output encodings will be UTF-8, output write, we will write the printer settings, and then let's close it. Okay, now after saving the text file, I will need to update the second text box. So lb folder, remove all rows first, and then for each folder as for the item, where in this directory, but this time children. Next. So what I need each time, I need to add a row only, folder add row with folder name. Save. Now let's test it. Get printer name. I will set this one as default. It looks good. Now save printer settings. I will choose this default settings, and now I have a text file. Now the next one will be this. Okay, save printer settings. It looks good. Now I have another settings because the first one was label printer and this one is another printer. Okay, perfect. Let's continue. Now we have two text files. Let me show you what you see inside it. This is the first one for the label printer, and this is the second one for my HP printer. Okay, now let's continue. I want to print without showing the printer setup dialog each time. I will need to test both printers. The first one will be print label, and the second one will be print A4, for example. Let me create quickly a method which will draw a picture. That means return type will be picture, and create a property p as picture. Now, for example, let's draw a simple picture. P is equal new picture. I will need a graphics object is equal to p graphics, and then let's say I want to draw a rectangle. We'll have the coordinate 5, 5, and then 2, 6, 2, 1. Then I will write maybe some text, let's say with the font size 16, G throw text, I don't know, maybe this text would be Salam alaikum. The coordinate will be 20, 20. Okay, so perfect. Return P. Only a simple image to show you an example, nothing more. So now I will go to my buttons. The first one will be print label. The user must select a settings file. So I will check folder, selected row count is equal to 0, then message box, select settings file. If he does, he should run this code. So let's say P is equal to draw pic. To print a document, I will need a printer setup and then a graphic object. So to draw in it, and I will need to read the file in the directory special folder, desktop, child, my settings, child, the one that the user chose, so var input as text, input stream is equal to text, input stream, open that file, input encodings is equal to encodings UTF. Now the graphic object is equal to printer setup, open printer. It will get our printer setup as parameter. Now this printer setup settings are equal to input read all, input close. Now let's draw this picture. P 5 5 and it will be P width, P height. Actually I don't need this button because I will set with this button the default printer. So here I will say only print, and one time I will print a label and the other time I will print A4. Okay, now let's test it. Okay, get printer name. I will begin with the brother label printer. Okay, actually I have already the two settings files, so now I will choose this one and say print. Now if I will set this printer as default and choose this settings file, I hope you enjoyed the video and learned something as always. If you have any suggestion, please feel free to leave a comment. And if you want to see more from me, subscribe the channel. See you in the next video. Bye bye.